Perhaps you've heard of the law of attraction, otherwise known in New Age circles as manifestation, the idea that you can magically draw unto yourself wealth, fame, fortune, sexy partners, anything you desire if you just think correctly. Yeah, it's a bunch of hoo-ha, but where does it come from? Well, mostly from this fellow who had the most excellent old-timey name, Phineas Parkhurst Quimby. Mr. Quimby was an inventor and a hypnotist and a metaphysical healer who believed that all disease originated in the mind and thus could be cured by proper mental attitude. The ideas of Mr. Quimby formed the basis of what was called the Mind Cure movement, and later known as New Thought, although, like many New Age things, the ideas were actually quite old, drawn from ancient Greek, Roman, Buddhist, Taoist, Chinese, and Hindu sources, among others. Mr. Quimby had two very famous students, one of whom was already mentioned in a previous video, Warren Felt Evans, who was the author of The New Age and its Messenger. The second of whom was Mary Baker Eddy, founder of Christian Science. As a representative of this kind of thinking, Mrs. Eddy believed that the only reality was the divine mind, and that everything else was an illusion, including disease, evil, and the material world itself. Over time, the focus of New Thought on mind over matter became applied to other areas of life, most notably personal finance. In 1886, a California humorist by the name of Prentice Mulford, another excellent old-timey name, coined the term and the practice law of attraction. And by the 20th century, we saw a string of books about the idea of getting rich using only your mind. The first of these was actually called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles in 1910. This was followed by The Secret of the Ages by Robert Collier, 1926, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, 1937, and The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale in 1952. One famous disciple of Norman Vincent Peale, by the way, was Donald J. Trump. Anyway, Peale's bestseller was followed by You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay in 1984, Money and the Law of Attraction by Esther and Jerry Hicks, 2008, and The Secret, which was a documentary in 2006 and a book in 2007. As I indicated in a recent video, the ideas of manifestation and law of attraction are not just dubious, not just delusional, but dangerous. From a medical perspective, believing that only the mind can cure disease will obviously prevent a person from seeking appropriate medical attention and, saving their life. From a social standpoint, law of attraction ideas are toxic because they place all of the onus on the individual and completely ignore other factors that are societal, genetic, environmental, and so forth that lead not only to disease, but to things like poverty. In short, the law of attraction is really a steaming pile of